Our first example in this movie is rationalizing the denominator when we have a single term in the denominator. Notice this example has a square root of 7. It's not considered proper to leave your final answer with a radical in the denominator. So what we do is we rationalize it. And how this works, I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite the original problem again. So 3 over the square root of 7. And then I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by that radical. And now we're going to multiply across. So 3 times the square root of 7 is 3 square roots of 7. And then square root of 7 times square root of 7 is 7 squared. Well, my numerator is still the same, but my denominator, the square root of 7 squared, that index and power cancel out, and we're left with just 7. Now our final answer has a radical now gone from its denominator. This second example now has a radical in the denominator, but it has two terms. It has the 1 minus square root of 6. So what we need to do is we need to multiply what you think of as like a conjugate. You're going to change the sign of this. So it's a positive there. And you're going to multiply that to the numerator and the denominator. So I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite this original problem again. So 2 over 1 minus the square root of 6. I'm going to put a parentheses around it. Now I'm going to go ahead and multiply the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate. So it's going to be 1 plus the square root of 6 over 1 plus the square root of 6. Now we're going to multiply across because we have a fraction times a fraction. So I'm going to leave the numerator alone for right now. I'm not going to distribute that 2 through. But my denominator, I have to FOIL. So to FOIL, I do first, 1 times 1 is 1. And outside, 1 times the square root of 6 is 1 square root of 6. I'm going to go to inside. Negative square root of 6 times 1 is negative 1 square root of 6. And then last, negative square root of 6 times positive square root of 6 is negative square root of 36. Because 6 times 6 is 36. Now what will always happen when you multiply by conjugates is these two middle terms will cancel out. So now I'm just going to rewrite the problem again, where we're at. So 2, and then 1 plus the square root of 6. And then the denominator has 1 minus the square root of 36. Now the square root of 36 is 6. So I'll leave the numerator alone again. And now this square root of 36 is 6. Now combine like terms in the denominator. And you get negative 5. And then in the numerator, you could distribute it if you wanted to the 2 through.